Good day all you wonderful people, welcome to Adventure Together. My name's Al, trail name Lookout, and today I am going into Helena, the capital of Montana, to sort out two resupplies. One resupply is to get me to the town of Lincoln, which is about 3 days hiking, and then the next resupply is the box that I'm going to send to East Glacier, and that's going to take me all the way to the border. Exciting times. We are now down to our final 3 stretches of the CDT. We have from Helena to Lincoln 3 days. From Lincoln to East Glacier 7 days, maybe 8, not sure. We'll see what the terrain's like. And then from East Glacier to the border of Canada, and leaving it late like always. I have not decided whether I'm going across the Canadian border and trying to head up to Calgary, or whether I'm just going to return back to East Glacier after I finish the CDT and then go from there. It seems like transit options from East Glacier are minimal, like trains and some buses, and Calgary, I think, with an international airport, is probably going to be a better bet, and it'd be more interesting to go up to Calgary and explore there for a while. So that's the one that I'm leaning towards, but I still haven't done any research to see if there is a way to get from Waterton, which is the village that is the first thing that you come to a couple of miles after the international boundary. See if there is something that takes you from Waterton to Calgary, and if there isn't, then I'm going to have to sort out going back to East Glacier, but I'm sure there is. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be some isolated in-woods community. I'm sure there'll be something. I just don't want to be relying on a hitch. We're now at 19 days left of the CDT. It's all becoming a bit more real now that the end is in sight. We're less than 3 weeks away. It's crazy to think about, and my mind is starting to shift away from the CDT and focus more heavily during the day on what comes after it. So yeah, it's getting exciting. It's like reaching the end of higher education. You're getting out of university and you've been focused so long on achieving one thing, which is to get your degree, that now it's in sight. You start shifting your focus elsewhere, and that's where I'm at now, shifting my focus a little to what comes after. But yesterday I decided that's all going to come soon enough, and to concentrate heavily on the landscape around me. And it was that day that I spent the whole day going up and down mountains just in a forest, so there wasn't too much to see at all, but still appreciating where I was. I think that's the theme for the next couple of weeks. Just try and concentrate on where I am and resist the urge to start thinking too far ahead. It's getting hot now, so I'm going to take off the puffy, and I've come to Camp Rimini Reception and Training Centre. In fact, this wasn't a planned stop, I just saw it and thought it has a picnic table somewhere I can sit down for 5 minutes, and it has a privy, but I have already dug a cat hole, so no need to use that. And yeah, this Camp Rimini Reception and Training Centre has a whole thing about dogs that were used during the war. Rimini in Italy was a special place for my mother, who lived in Italy before I was born. So we went back there when I was a kid. So yeah, I see Rimini and I think of Italy, and I don't think of Montana really. But now I will. I'm going to miss this lifestyle. I'm going to miss through hiking, and I'm going to miss being out in nature. I'm going to miss camping wherever I want, moving house effectively every day. I'm going to miss the complete freedom. The only burden being, have you got enough food and have you got enough electricity, really, and money. I'm going to miss it. I really am. I think there's a feeling of looking forward to getting away from the road walks, getting away from the thunderstorms, and getting away from feeling hungry all the time. And also, this is hard. It's really hard. I mean, that's the thing. I meet a lot of people and I speak to a lot of people who don't hike, and they say the same things. You're so lucky. I wish I could do what you were doing. And I think, do you? Do you really know how hard this is? This is so excruciatingly painful every day. And it's exhausting every day to push yourself up mountains with this full of food and water, just weighing, like, just imagine carrying all of your groceries on your back all the time. It's hard, man. It really is. And I know that people know it's hard, that's why they don't do it. But to go through the weather, to go through the cold, to go through the mud, to go over the mountains and into the valleys, the thing that we have in common is that they wish they could go out here. They wish that they could be here and do this, because they're thinking about the flowers and the animals and the freedom and walking over and seeing beautiful views at the top of mountains. And through hikers at this stage of the game are thinking about, you know, a warm bed and comfort and doing less than 80,000 steps a day. And that's it. It's like we're just focused on the positives. The grass is greener, and like I said, I've got to focus the next 3 weeks, just under the next 3 weeks, and what are the reasons that people want to be out here and to enjoy those things while I've got them, because I know I'm going to miss it. I feel sad talking about it now because I know how much I'm going to miss this. This has been the last 3 years of my life, and it's going to be devastating to not have through hiking as something I do each year anymore. You know, I'll come back to hiking, but something this long, I don't know. As I've said a few times in these vlogs, there are big challenges outside of hiking that I want to do. Where am I going to find the time to do another 6 month through hike? But that's all the more reason to concentrate on those beautiful things about this lifestyle and the opportunity it affords me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've been cooking with steam, cooking with gas. I don't know, what's the phrase? Whatever it is, running on steam? I don't know. Rolling down the river. I have reached the highway. It was 10.5 miles from where I camped, and I thought doing 3.5 miles an hour, that would take me 3 hours. But I had that little stop and did a few other bits and pieces and took some photographs, and I thought, okay, so add on another 45 minutes, but it's just about to turn 10 a.m. so I've been cooking somehow, with something, and yeah, let's try and hitch into Helena. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am in. I got a ride eventually, and now I'm here. I can't check in. They say absolutely no way can you check in before 3 p.m. What the hell do I do with myself? So I decided that the next step is for me to go to every hotel and try and grab myself. Dude here pulling up next to me like he knows me. Going to grab myself anything I can from the hiker boxes, because if there is a hiker box in a hotel, then there's the opportunity to get some stuff for free. Hopefully some fuel, and yeah, maybe some good snacks or something like that. So there are a couple of budget hotels around here within walking distance. Oh my goodness, I am completely surrounded by chain link fence. Oh well, we'll find a way out. Yeah, so after I escape from the chain link fenced area, I'm going to head over to Walmart and grab the food I need to send in a box to Helena, and also the food that I need so that I can get myself to Lincoln. It's not too much actually. I had a few bits left over, so let's go and see what we can do. Maybe we can yogi some pretty good surprise hiker box stuff.
The next day.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give you an update. I went to all those hotels, none of them had a hiker box. There is not a hiker box in this whole strip of hotels, which is a shame. Oh well, I went to Walmart. I bought too much food. I tried to cram that food in my backpack. I realised I have too much food. Oh my goodness. I've overestimated the amount of food that I would need. Just, I guess, overestimating the amount of days that I'm going to be on the road for, or at least on the trail. Today is the next day. I edited some videos, I spoke to people back home. I got to bed very late and woke up very early, yet I'm still an hour behind where I want to be. Again, I bought too much food thinking that I would eat a lot more food yesterday, and now I have a baguette on the outside of my backpack. Also, this hotel turns out to be very far from the post office, although it is within 10 minutes walk of Walmart, which was handy when I was bringing back 8 shopping bags full of groceries that I had to carry. Why don't I have a car? It is also very far from the post office, which means that I'm going to have to carry my backpack and several bags to send to East Glacier for a very long time, about 45 minutes, which will be even slower when I'm carrying a 30-pound backpack. Oh well, onwards. The day needs to start. I really don't feel like it. I woke up this morning with the alarm going off, pitch black outside, and thinking, do I have enough time to do everything I need to do and also sleep till 6 a.m, which gives you a clue of how early I decided to set the alarm this morning. I wanted to sleep in till the incredibly late time of 6 a.m. And I rolled over after switching the alarm off and thought to myself, well, let's just give myself a minute here to get my brain in order before I sit up. And I said to myself internally, I'm about ready to be done. I'm like, town days are so stressful. They're honestly so stressful. Let me put the phone down because my arms are hurting. So I'm balancing my phone on the desk here. Let me go through a little story about what happened yesterday and how I'm feeling now. So yesterday, after going to Walmart, I came back here and I was not allowed to check into my room because they hadn't cleaned the room. And so I was sat in the reception area with no ability to charge my phone because they had no outlets and my phone chargers were just empty. So sat there with no phone, nothing to do. Eventually I was allowed to check into my room at closer on to 4 o'clock. I got into the room had not actually been cleaned. It smelt like it had been doused in bleach but not cleaned, which meant I had to stand outside the room in the heat while housekeeping hurriedly rushed around to clean it. I then was able to get in and sort my food and everything like that and put everything on charge. But again, this is now closer to 5 o'clock. I go to the laundry, and the laundry has one washing machine and the door to the laundry is locked, and I'm told to come back half an hour later. Half an hour later I return with my laundry ready to do it. They say that somebody else who was not in the queue had the key, the one and only key this hotel has. They have one key to the laundry room. Not even staff have a key to the laundry room. Once the door is locked, the door is locked. And they said that I would have to return later on that night. I eventually managed to get into the laundry room at 7:30. Bear in mind I wanted to go to sleep at 8 p.m. I eventually get in to the laundry room, but not because I had a key, but because whoever had the key had left the door unlocked. I went in, I put my clothes in the washing machine, and I left it, and I walked off. When I went to return half an hour later after the cycle of the washing machine was done, the door to the laundry was once again locked, and the key was again missing. Turns out the person who had the key had left the hotel and disappeared, gone to a bar or something. I eventually get to my laundry that is wet, much later on in the night, probably about 3 hours after I'm supposed to be asleep. I get my laundry and I put it into the tumble dryer and then stand with the tumble dryer, hoping that if said person with the key to the laundry returns from the bar and decides to lock the room or unlock the room or whatever, I'm inside the room so I'm able to get in and out with my laundry. After half an hour of lots of noise, it turns out the tumble dryer is not working, the element's gone, and my clothes have just been going around and around and around in a that's it, just being tumbled, not dried. And so eventually I just hang my clothes up in the room, get my money back from reception. Reception, very nice as they were more focused on sorting out their personal life than sorting out anything to do with this hotel. So there we go, that's my little thing. I get to sleep eventually at 1 a.m. and wake up before 6. So I'm not feeling great. I'm feeling a little bit stressed out. Been trying to edit videos. I just wanted a relaxing day, and this whole thing about not being able to check in till 3 p.m. no matter what is it's irritating when you get into town at 10 a.m. and you're just sitting around waiting and there's nothing you can do. You just want to shower, you just want to do your laundry, and you just want to go to bed early. Town days are stressful. I'm done with town days. I'm fed up of them. I just want to hike, but now I'm carrying far too much food for a 3-day stretch, so I only have myself to blame on that one, really. And the other thing before I go is the guy upstairs is a resident who has 2 dogs, and they were fighting all night, and he was shouting at them all night. I did manage to eventually get to sleep, but it was like felt like they were going to fall through the floor at one point. They were so loud all night. It's crazy. A lot of the guests in this hotel are residents who, let's just say they feel like they have preferential treatment, I guess, or they're owed it. Yesterday there was a van outside in the car park that was grilling and barbecuing, and obviously I didn't need to, or try to get to sleep before midnight, but they were going well past midnight, loud Latino music and chatting, and they were having a good time, which is fair enough. It's Sunday night, but some of us have to hike in the morning. And yeah, then somebody threw a cigarette off their balcony, and it nearly hit someone else, and the person said, "Hey, watch it." And then a fight started over the cigarette because the person who had thrown it took umbrage with the fact that they were being called out for it, and they thought the person who walked in the way of their falling cigarette was the person who was to blame. Fortunately, it wasn't me. I was just a witness to it. So yeah, maybe cheap isn't the way to go for me anymore. I think a younger me would have found this all hilarious and laughed at it, and I think maybe I'm just getting too old and just want some peace and quiet. But yeah, enough complaining about this place aside. It was my choice to come here, it was my choice to pay, and yeah, oh well, lesson learned, I guess. But one thing I do feel the right to complain about is the fact that there is no coffee making facilities in this room, which is an outrage. I'm just outraged about it. Oh yeah, and some of the lights don't work. But anyway, coffee aside, I am going to go to the post office. I'm going to try and hitch back to trail out of this city, and I'm just going to try and walk. I don't know how many miles I'll get done today, but I guess I'll just walk until, you know, it's time to camp and see how far I get. No aims, just walk. Oh well. Anyway, I'm going to start today's vlog in a bit more of a happy way. So this one will just chalk as a complaint vlog, and I'm sorry that there was very little action, but oh well, let's move on. Anyway, yes, there is a fundraiser. Thanks for asking. A fundraiser indeed. £3,100 is what we're trying to raise, and I'd really appreciate if you helped us get to that target. If you are one of the people that I'm speaking to that already has helped, then thank you so much. Thank you. I am very, very grateful. It's all going to charity. It's not going to me. I'm not touching any of this money. It's going through Just Giving, a reputable cause, who are going to pass that money straight on to the charity. There is no other middleman. I am not involved other than to promote this and tell you about it. And yeah, that's it from me. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.